What is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and I'm coming back with another video, man. So y'all already know what's going on. All right, y'all. Unexpected topic today, right? I saw Marlon Wayans was coming on Cenat stream, right? I think the entire stream is 5 hours long. Way too long for me to even watch half of it. I saw this clip that we're going to just jump straight into it. I saw this clip of him telling one of Cenat friends that he didn't have much time to live. You know, he said it in a joking way. But that clip led me down a rabbit hole, right? It's crazy how once you see something, other things just start to pop up in your head. Like, oh, I remember when he said this. And so obviously we know Marlon Wayans is, pretty much all over the place right now with the new movie, Him, coming out in less than 2 weeks, I think September 19th. They are building up the anticipation like never before. He went on Cenat stream. Obviously, it's the same thing with rappers and the same thing they're doing with movies these days. They are using the streamers. They're getting in front of millions of people's eyes and, using it as promotion so people can buy in and go see the movie on the opening nights, right? And we definitely want to see that full movie so we can break it down as well on the channel when it comes out. But this video is going to specifically be about Marlon Wayans and his ties to the industry. I got something very, very interesting for y'all. Some of y'all may be on game. Some of you have never known this, and it goes back to Marlon Wayans, Tupac, and Biggie. And also, we're going to talk a little bit more about the children of Marlon Wayans as well, and the rituals that a lot of these actors, celebrities seem to follow the same trend. And it's something we've talked about on this channel multiple times, right? We'll get to that toward the end of the video. But first, we're going to go ahead and jump right into this short clip. It's a short clip from Cenat's stream. I want to play this for y'all. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to go even deeper into the next clip of this video, y'all. So with that being said, check this out.
What about him? What about him? Oh, he ain't. No, he. I'm good. I'm good. You may not be here long. I think no. I see something bad in your life. You got about 2 years left. We gotta watch him. Y'all hang out with him now. He ain't gonna be here in 2 years. Don't he look like you fit? You look coughing ready. Yeah. Don't care about his head. But what's his name? Boonga Lunga. Love Balunga Lunga. Love him. Send him all. Tell the guys go. No, it's yo, tell all that. It's 5.
I gotta give me my friends, bro.
Yeah, so as everybody comes. Go.
All right, y'all. Now, that clip, it may not mean much to you, right? May not mean anything to you. He said his friend looks like he wasn't going to be there tomorrow. Y'all might want to hang with your friend. He might not be here in the next 2 years. Might not seem that dramatic, right? But about a year or so ago, Marlon Wayans was on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Shannon Sharp. Y'all know the podcast with the famous Cat Williams interview. Probably one of the biggest, probably the biggest podcast episode of all time. He went on the podcast, and there is a part of that podcast where he talked about the deaths of Tupac and Biggie. This blew my mind. Now, if y'all wondering why we got this blurry photo of Pac and Biggie, the only photo that they took together, blew my mind. So what happens to be the only photo of Tupac and Biggie together, if you will look to the right, this is the only picture I could find of the version that is not cropped out. You will see Marlon Wayans sitting down, twisting his dreads back in that time. He's going to tell you this in the clip that I'm about to show y'all. Now, going on to the original picture, way better. You could actually see that is Marlon Wayans right there, y'all. He is sitting behind Tupac and Biggie in one of their only photos. It's crazy Tupac has that star ring on. Crazy. I honestly, I don't even know which Tupac this is, because if y'all go back to my Tupac doppelganger video, there was two Tupacs, okay? There was two of them, without a doubt. This may not be the real one. Honestly, I don't know. This one looks questionable. I'm not sure if Biggie had an exact doppelganger. If y'all want, I'll just put the photo up of both Tupacs. There was two of them, all right? But check this out. Marlon Wayans is right behind these two somehow, right? Now, this insane. This gonna turn that clip on Cenat stream into a whole nother monster. Turns out that Marlon Wayans saw Tupac 20 minutes before he died, and he also spoke to Biggie 20 minutes before he died. He also just happened to be in the only photo of Tupac and Biggie together. Blew my mind. You got to understand something. Yeah, Marlon Wayans grew up in Hollywood. How in the hell is he in this photo? And he also was one of the few people who saw Biggie and Tupac. We're talking about, industry-wise. Obviously, they were surrounded by entourages the night that they both supposedly died. So a lot of people saw them. But very odd that Marlon Wayans was in this photo, and he also was next to both of them only 20 minutes before they died. With that being said, y'all, we got to go ahead and jump into the clip so y'all can hear it for yourself. I was mind blown, and it actually took this whole thing about Marlon Wayans and, his comeback to the scene and him he was about 52 years old, I think. Insane, y'all. Check this out.
There's a picture with Tupac and Biggie, the only picture I think of them two together. And if you look in the corner, I'm sitting in the background twisting my hair. Now the irony is, I saw Tupac in Vegas at the Luxor 20 minutes before he got shot. We saw him. I seen Suge and all these cars and thugs and reds, and I was like, I turned white. I was like, we shouldn't go over there. We can just wave from here. Hi, Pac. Omar's like, nah, we gotta go say what's up, pay our respects. And Pac was a huge star at this time. And I was like, you sure? This sure looks like a lot of trouble over there. And so I go over there, we give him a hug, we all talk, kick it for 5 minutes, and the BMW pulls up. And me, Omar, and Mitchell, we get in a cab, and we pull off. And I'll never forget the look on Tupac's face as we pulled off. He's kind of just like looking at us like,
maybe I should get in the car with you?
He looked like, man, I miss that freedom. I miss that fun. And he was just in this chaos. There was something, a part of him that wished that it was like the innocence. He could just go with the innocence,
right,
and go with the, and so we left. And then 20 minutes later, we heard he got shot. And then I saw Biggie 20 minutes before he got shot. We're leaving a party, we're going down the escalator, or we're going up the escalator. And he was like, or down, he was like, yo, I love your family. I love y'all. Y'all make me laugh with all the stuff you do, my buddy. He was just bigging us up. And he had I forgot what he had on, maybe a coochie sweater or whatever. And he was, we was talking. He was like, I love you. Dap me up. Good seeing you. Continue success, blah, blah, blah. And I know, Puff since college. Like, I know these brothers. I grew up in Hollywood. So we're leaving the party. I see him again, dap him up. My brother Keenan's in the party with me. He gets in his car. He has a drop top 500 Mercedes SL. I'm in my Range Rover, and we hear pop, pop, pop. Keenan's like, yo, go. And I remember his head as he went over the speed bump, and he pulled off. I went to go eat at Jerry's Deli. I'm friends with Tracy Lee, who was a rapper, and we was all eating over there, and we found out Big got shot. Went to the hospital. Saw Puff and all them outside, or Mark Pitts, all those guys I knew, crying, and I saw Biggie 20 before he got shot.
Wow.
So 20 minutes after this interview, nigga, you may get shot.
I ain't going nowhere.
I ain't going nowhere. They got no guns. You 55 Cent.
Now, if you don't find that to be one of the craziest things, we've talked about recently on the channel, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. For him to have saw both of them 20 minutes before they died, man, you got to wonder, like, what does Marlon Wayans really got going on in the industry? Why is he behind them in this photo? And then he jokingly told Shannon Sharp, you might die 20 minutes after this interview. Shannon Sharp like, shit, I'm not even about to leave because something just ain't right. You got to think about that, man. When I heard that, truly, as the longer I continue to do this, the less my mind is blown by certain things. But that one just had me puzzled. I'm just sitting here scratching my head like, why was Marlon Wayans privy to these rituals and these sacrifices at such a young age around, artists who were a lot bigger than him at the time? I mean, it makes you think about his family and the kind of ties that they may really hold in Hollywood, and the fact that, they may be a lot more powerful than we know. You know what I'm saying? I just really have questions about, you know, what he just said. And he said he will never forget Tupac's face. You know, a lot of people kind of talk about that same thing. Really, you don't even have to go to anyone for their opinions on how he looked the night that he supposedly died. Remember, there were two of them. But the photo that was basically like set up, it was took on purpose at that time with him and Suge in the car. And it looks like, life is flashing before Tupac's eyes in that photo. Like, it looks like he's just like in that moment, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Maybe the guy in the car with Suge when Suge was facing forward and supposedly there was not even a key in the ignition. Maybe that was the real Tupac and he knew life as Tupac and all of that was over. Maybe the other one was setting up the plot to, for the public to never see Tupac again, because Tupac death, you know, is so shrouded in mystery. It's one of the most confusing alleged escapes or, when someone fakes their death or rituals that I think I have ever seen. A lot of different stories to it. I can say for sure there were two Tupacs at the MGM that night. Two of them. I seen it. I watched so many clips. I did my own video. I seen both of them. There were two of them there. So it's a full blown, very difficult ritual to solve. Why? Because it was never meant to be solved. It was done by Masons. It is a ritual. Maybe this was his 33rd degree Mason ritual for him to graduate to the next level. I don't know. I don't know. We could throw out so many theories, y'all, but I just know the devil is in the details that night. And nothing of Tupac's alleged death is what it seemed. I mean, Suge Knight hinted at him faking his death for multiple, for decades after he died. Machiavelli, you know what I'm saying? Back then, being young and hearing about all that stuff, Illuminati and all that good stuff back then, it felt so different. It felt like you were in another time. It's like those words, that energy had a real, very strong pull to it. When you thought about the stuff Tupac was involved in and all the stuff he was exposing and the Quincy Jones stuff, it was strong back then. Like, maybe it's because we were younger. We weren't, adults. We didn't know how to really, gauge this kind of conspiracy stuff. But man, I swear it had a different energy back then. And I don't even really know what I'm trying to say to describe it, but I just know what I feel and what, I thought I knew back then. Man, it just seemed very dark, I mean, it does now, but I guess maybe we're able to gauge it and understand it a little bit different now that we're older, as in us, people who are interested in this kind of stuff. So moving on, right? Also, I want to throw in here real quick. Man, I think it's like a 20-second clip from the main actor from the movie Him. He actually did a video where they were shooting scenes under the eclipse last year. They started filming long ago, I think early 24 or late 23, if I'm not mistaken. And they actually shot one of the scenes under the eclipse. I think it may have been back in April. Y'all let me know. Might have been April 24. But I'll show y'all that clip real quick. It's very quick. I just thought that was really interesting. They chose when the veil is very thin to shoot one of the scenes of the movie, which obviously lets you know the direction that the movie was going in anyway, considering Marlon Wayans' character is basically the devil.
Filming this movie, they got me filming this spooky ass scene during the eclipse. I gotta go talk to my grandma. We gotta go to church tomorrow. You got my Bible? You got my Bible?
Is it in your chair?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. We go grab that.
Now, here's something also where I think he talked about it at first in 2023, but I saw updated articles that were dated back in May 2024. And this matched the time that they were filming for the movie Him. So these articles started coming back around of Marlon Wayans talking about accepting and supporting his son Kai after they came out as transgender. So this was basically him saying he had to do a lot of soul searching when he first learned that his eldest child, who was 24 years old at the time, was transitioning, right? He said, you understand the purpose of kids and the beauty of unconditional love. But at the end of the day, in my heart, only thing that matters to me is that my child is happy. So basically, this was his daughter. And his daughter transitioned into a man, basically. And their name is Kai. I mean, they actually said they came out as transgender, as if it's two of them, as if it's two different people. The pronoun thing is insane. No, it is a girl trying to be a man. It ain't no they. There ain't two separate, there may be two separate versions, but they is just insane that they actually use these pronouns, right? But instantly what this made me think about, and he said, I have a contract with my kids that whatever they do in life, there's a possibility that he's going to find humor in it and make jokes about it, right? But, he has a daughter that transitioned into a man. Now, this might be a way bigger topic if his daughter wasn't over 21 years old. So obviously it's her, choice, her or him. But it instantly made me think about those rituals in Hollywood's back to the Dwayne Wades, to the Megan Foxes, to all of these celebrities who were like pushing it at the time. They were advocating for young kids to make the transition if they want to make it, basically forcing it on the kids. And it just made me think of that ritual because it seems very fitting, like that they started, updating articles and stuff right around the time they were in the midst of filming for the movie Him. And he talks about him opening up to his daughter transitioning. It's just the timing of it just seems a little off. Him kind of like reviving his career. It all is just going together right now. And also that interview was around the time that they were filming the movie as well. The interview he did in the episode with Shannon Sharp, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, man, we'll go ahead and end it off right here. I thought this was a very good video to go ahead and drop on the channel since the movie is about to come out. Pretty sure this will be the last time until it does come out that we'll talk about this topic with Marlon Wayans. But with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think about this one, man. Did y'all know about the whole thing with him, you know, seeing Pac and Biggie 20 minutes before they died, him actually being in that photo, some freaky stuff right there, y'all. So with that being said, y'all, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon, all right? I'm out.